to do that in post-production in After Effects, and how simple it is to do with very little render overhead. So it's a very powerful tool. Now I'll show you another. I'll just get rid of that depth of field, or we'll leave that, and we're just going to duplicate. We'll grab this gold, these other two pot layers, and get rid of them. I'm going to duplicate that channel and isolate it. We're going to get rid of the depth of field, so we're still just looking at our image there on a white background. And what I can do is use a depth matte in the 3D channels. We can go depth matte, and immediately everything disappears. But if I wind the depth in negative, the torus appears, the ball appears, the sphere appears, then the cube. So I'm still winding in negative. There's the cylinder, and there's the teapot. So what I can do is actually isolate. I can bring it in until I'm just looking at the cube, just on the other side of the cube. So that's it there. And then what I can do is duplicate that in the effects stack with Control D. So I now have two depth mattes there. And what I can do is just slide it. I'll switch the top one off. I'm going to continue sliding up back towards 0 until I just get rid of the cube. And then I'm going to invert it. And then I'm going to switch the depth matte back on. Now you'll see that we just have the cube. We've used depth matte to get rid of everything behind the cube and everything in front of the cube. And you'll see that as I drag forward, I can basically do more and more towards the camera. And if I drag the top one down further in negative, then I'm revealing things further back there. So depth matte is a very powerful tool to use in post as well. And it works on the Z depth information that is built into RPF if you tick the box at render time. So we'll get rid of those two depth mattes, and what we're going to do now is have just a quick look at some volume fog, some volumetric fog. And we're going to take this image, this RPF layer here, and we're just going to give it a depth of fog 3D effect. Now immediately it's completely fogged out in white. If I change the color to say a bluey color, you might see a little bit more of what we're doing here. The background itself is not affected, and remembering that that's the layer that we're working on. So we'll switch back to a white color,